The two-day instructional workshop on matrix analytic methods was arranged during 6th and 7th of January 2014 with tutorials and other training sessions for the benefit of students and faculty wishing to enter this research area. May I now request the dignitaries to please proceed to the dais. Let us invoke the presence of God through a prayer song.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtin Dvandvadidam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaati Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamajalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavadidam Trigunarahidam Sadgurum Tannamami.
Thank you, Ms. Srividya and Ms. Nilofer. May I now request Dr. Jessy John, Professor NIT Calicut and Co-Chair MAM 8 2014 to deliver the welcome address.
And gentlemen, a very warm good morning to all. We are proud that the 8th International Conference and Instructional Workshop, Matrix Analytic Methods in Stochastic Models, MAM 8 2014, is getting inaugurated in this function at NIT Calicut. After the successful completion of the 2 days instructional workshop on 6th and 7th, we are now proceeding to the international conference. As we all know, the matrix analytic methods has very wide applications in the real-world system studies. I congratulate MAM-related scientists whose vision brought up this series of international conferences, MAM series. NIT Calicut, an institution of national importance in India, is always committed to welcome research activities from all spheres of real world, engineering, science, management, etc. The whole NIT is behind us in organizing this conference. The organization of any conference has mainly 3 parts: academic, management, and fund. This program is supported by a good number of experts and our institute management, and this program is co-sponsored by TechUp2 NIT Calicut, MOSPI India, NBHMDAE India, DST India, KSCSTE Kerala, CSAR India, IMU, INSA, AMBA Research India Private Limited. Let me go to my duty now. I am here to welcome you all to this auspicious inaugural function of the International Conference, MAM 8 2014. This meeting is presided by Dr. M.N. Bandyopadhyaya, Director of NIT Calicut and a very scholarly professor in electrical engineering. He is a teacher for more than 40 years and associated with many universities and institutions in India and outside India during his career. He authored 9 books and published many research papers. We extend a very hearty welcome to you, sir, to chair this function. Professor Søren Asmussen, a famous professor of applied probability and a great expert in matrix analytic methods, is the chief guest of the program. Presently, he is professor of applied probability and at Aarhus University, Denmark. Started his career in 1973 at the University of Copenhagen. He got associated with various universities and institutes all over the world. He authored many books which are references for researchers and others, and got very large number of publications in his account. He is associated with the academic activities like editor of many journals, active member of academic societies, and so on. Sir, we are blessed by your presence in this function as well as in the MAM 8 2014. A very hearty welcome you to, sir, to this auspicious inaugural ceremony of MAM 8 2014, a historical event. On behalf of NIT Calicut, the organizing committee of MAM 8 2014, and on behalf of all present here. Dr. V. Ramaswamy, a well-famous applied probability expert, and the person who brought MAM 8 2014 to India is with us. He is an expert in MAM. He got retired a few months back from AT&T Lab Research, a very important institute in research in USA. Dr. Ram actively associated with real-world applications of probability, and he got a good number of publications and authored books in the field. It is his initiative which gave us courage to take up this venture. He is always with us as a team member, especially managing the academic part. On behalf of all of us, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir, to this function. Our head of the department, Dr. V. Narayanan, is also a queuing theory expert. He gives us all supports in conducting this program. On behalf of all present here, I welcome you, sir, to this function. Professor M.J.Jacob, the organizing secretary and co-chair of MAM 8 2014, is with us. He is also a MAM expert. His dedication is the backbone of this MAM 8 2014 at NIT Calicut. He is an excellent teacher of mathematics and also excellent coordinator of conference and workshops. I welcome Professor Jacob to this function on behalf of all present here. Welcome, sir. Dr. Mahesh Kumar, Assistant Professor Mathematics, NIT Calicut, and co-chair of the program, is also a good researcher in applied probability. He is actively involved in organizing this program. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Mahesh. Our dignitaries of the dais, Professor Benny Van Hoon, Professor Krishnamurthy, our teacher, Professor Bong Choi, Professor Milkol Stelk, and all experts, we welcome you wholeheartedly to this function. The most important persons in a conference are the experts and delegates. We welcome all the delegates from our hearts. Welcome you all. My hearty welcome to all my colleagues, teaching as well as non-teaching, and my students to this function. Our warm welcome to the media personnel present here. Finally, I welcome all those present here to grace the auspicious occasion of the inauguration of MAM 8 2014. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. M.J.Jacob, Professor, NIT Calicut, and Organizing Secretary and Co-Chair, MAM 8 2014, will now update us with the conference details.
Respected Professor M.N. Madhopadhyaya, our Director, Professor Soren, our Chief Guest, then Dr. Ramaswamy, our Head, Dr. Narayanan, Dr. Jessy John, Dr. Mahesh, coordinators, then our other distinguished delegates, invited speakers, dear participants and students. Now, my talk was about marmite at NIT Calicut. Now, it was in last July, that is, 2012 July, that is, Professor Krishnamurthy and Dr. Ramaswamy offered, that is, 8th marmite, that is, can be here at NIT Calicut. So we were slightly apprehensive because of our limited facilities available here. But trusting the mom community, we know much about that. And also, after all, with this importance of academics, we agreed. Of course, our director happily agreed, give the permissions. Then different committees were formed, and by December 2012, we formally announced marmite at NIT Calicut. Then we had to get permissions from different agencies. It was slightly difficult, and also getting funds was also a problem. Somehow we managed. Now, our welcome speaker told, we have the different agencies supporting this event. Now, for the call, for the papers to the conference, of course, it is from matrix analytic methods, not like the usual conferences here in this side. Still, we got many papers, and some were totally out of relevance. And there was a very serious review process, and 27 were accepted for presentation in the conference, and 14 papers for the proceedings. Maybe I have to speak specifically a little more. That is, Professor Benny on the forefront, and again, Dr. Ramaswamy in the background. So things went well on all these things. So we are happy about that. So now we are here. We have about 100 very serious, so there are people just coming for conference. It is not like that. 100 very serious participants attending the workshop and conference, and very excellent, that is really selected, about 20 invited speakers or delegates. And of course, they are, when I counted, they are represent 14 different countries also. We are happy about that. Of course, the success of marmite depends on, that is, the activities now going to take up. I believe it will be a very successful and happy event. So I have to thank also, that is, for people accepting our invitation and coming over here. So due to the shortage of time, let me stop. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. National Institute of Technology Calicut is one of the premier national institutions of technical education under the Ministry of Human Resources and Development, Government of India. Our director, Dr. Bandyopadhyaya, was previously the director of NIT Kurukshetra through deputation from NIT Hamirpur. He was also associated with Mustan Syria University, Baghdad, Iraq, BITS Pilani, and at Arba Minch University, Ethiopia. He has more than 40 years of teaching, research, and industrial experience. I now request you, sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor Soran, respected Professor Ramaswamy, and all the respected professors here, head of the department, respected co-chair, and also the organizing secretary, and ladies and gentlemen. As you know, that NIT is a national importance center. It is in a higher level of the university, and mainly a technical field is being given maximum importance. So now, wherever we go, whether in any type of engineering, whether it is mechanical, electrical, civil, electronics, computer, the main point is that without the help of mathematics, no engineering can stand. So thorough knowledge of mathematics is very much essential to work in the engineering field. Starting from the beginning, the industry wants the products that should be an optimum one. So when the optimum strategy is discussed, then also the use of mathematical tools, that is optimization tools, are necessary. Starting from gradient theory, dynamic programming, game theory, random theory, many of these are being utilized in the technical field for proper optimization. Sometimes there is a problem that we are not exactly getting the global optimum, rather sometimes we are getting a local optimum. So we have to be very careful how to get the global optimum, which in the perspective of different industrial need, the constants are different. So naturally these are to be seen, and in the proper boundary we have to develop the optimum design. Besides that, there is also, when we are thinking about the signal processing, digital signal processing and others, the concept of DFT, FFT, wavelet, etc. is coming. And over and above, this Chinese remainder theorem, random theories, these are very much used in the practical purpose of the application of the engineering branches. And over and above the ultra-fast matrix multiplications and other has opened a new era. Besides that, theory of probability and others concepts are mostly needed in the engineering field, and naturally from there the concept of this neural network, artificial intelligence are also coming, because everything is to be properly controlled. Online control is very much important, and that's why the main thing is that for that online control, time constant is the factor. So that is why we have to be very quick in our analysis. So that means we require such a mathematical tool that can be utilized for the online control immediately, because whenever we are considering the concept of satellite as well as the missiles and others, the environmental change happens instantaneously and momentarily. So that is why at that time also we have to be very careful about our mathematical tool, whether we are properly applying that one online. So a thorough knowledge on the mathematical tool is necessary. That's why this type of seminar is very important for all the engineering persons who are working here, who are teaching here, and a interdisciplinary arrangement of discussion is very much necessary in this type of seminar and conference. And lot of interaction is essential because many experts have already come from all over the world, so we can get the views from them and we can also share our views, so that to make this particular conference a grand success. We have to think about the quality very much in every aspect. But it is told by Aristotle that quality is not the act, but it is an habit. So this habit we have to inculcate, and that we can do through this type of seminar and conference and workshop. That's why it has an immense importance in our actual study life as well as practical life. Even people from industry should join in this type of seminar and conference to have a detailed interaction among them, that what it is happening in the industry and how these mathematical tools can be properly applied for the betterment of the technology. It is told by Bacon very nicely, history makes men wise, poetry witty. So history means, that is actually what are the data we had, we are getting. So here we will collect these data from the various experts, and then we have to be innovative and we have to develop something new, just like a poet writing a poem. Similarly, that is, from each and every day technology is improving like anything. What is the technology of today? Tomorrow it will be updated to another level. So this type of seminar will help us to update our knowledge. Education is the discipline for the adventure of life. It is told by Whitehead. Education is the progressive discovery of our ignorance. It is told by Will Durant. And also, Bernard Shaw is telling, education is the succession of an eye-opener, each involving repudiation of some previously held belief. So, we can easily understand from these statements of these philosophers and great scientists that what is the most important thing to update our knowledge. And the teachers and the faculty members is the main architect of that one. That's why it is told, it is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in the creative expression and knowledge. That is told by Einstein. That we have to always remember. And in the middle of difficulty lies the opportunity. That is also told by Einstein. So this one we have to remember. We have to proceed in this direction of these great persons' views and ideas, and we have to apply in our practical life, in our study life. This is very much important. Over and above, most important thing, there is a mind setup. We have to develop this mind setup. Object of education is to develop the mind, and the mind should be the thing that works. That is told by Serud. So that mind setup we have to develop. And real education is ultimately limited to men who insist on knowing. Rest is mere seafaring. That is told by Ezra Pound. So this is very important point told by Ezra Pound that we have to remember. And principal role of education is to create men who are capable of doing new things, not simply repeating what other generations have done. That is told by Jean Piaget. So just repetition is not the work. Whenever we are writing any paper, thesis, we should not repeat that one. We should collect data from there, and after that we have to think over it and we have to develop something new. This is very important. And the result of educative process is the inspiration of further education. So we have to also improve the educative process, and that can be done from our knowledge from other people, how they are sharing their knowledge, and that is to be applied in our daily activities. Education is what remains when we have forgotten all that we have been taught. That is told by George Sibley, because from the very childhood we are studying a lot of things, but how much we can remember and we can apply in the proper time, that is the most important thing. That's why in each and every respect, that is a patience is required. How poor are they that have no patience? That is told by Shakespeare in Othello. So we have to be great in act as we have been in thought. That is also told by Shakespeare. So in action is required. And that is why the only goal worthy of humanity is greatest enlargement of human capacities. That is told by Stalin. So these human capacities is to be developed at the same time for the development of the technology. The best portion of good man's life is his little unremembered act of kindness and love. That is told by Wordsworth. That faiths what we do not know what we are doing, but from our each and every day activity for the development of the technology, we are doing a great thing for the society. And we have to share knowledge each and every part of our country. That is the most important thing. What greater and better gift can we offer than to teach and instruct the public? That is told by Jero. So this is the duty of us. So we have to share the knowledge to every corner of the society. And this is the most important thing. How this mathematics is being applied in the different technological field for the development is very, very essential part of our life. So that is why this type of seminar is really very important. This will give us a leading capability also. Education makes people feel easy to lead but difficult to drive, easy to govern but impossible to enslave. That is told by Brauham. So that leading capability will develop. That is possible through this knowledge, that immediately if some problems comes when we are working in the industry, how to solve this problem, what theory you have to apply, what we have studied and how we can apply that one in the proper field, that is very important. So that is why interaction with the industry people as well as the teachers and faculty members are necessary. So I hope in this type of seminar and conference you will get a great knowledge, and that you can apply in your future life or in your practical life. Because time is very short, so I will not take much time. Thank you very much, and let us pray to God that may God give us the strength for the success. And that is, when God is in his heaven, all is right with the world. That is the Robert Browning said. And that, remembering that, we have to proceed. That is, For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. That is the statement of Tennyson in the book. Considering that one, we have to work hard for our development. We live in deeds, not in years. We live in thoughts, not in breaths. We live in feelings, not in figures on a dial. We have to remember this, and we have to proceed for the betterment of technology, betterment of the society, and that is our duty, and we have to do our duty. The part of the duty is the way of glory. That is told by Tennyson. We have to consider that one, and we have to proceed accordingly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. Depicting this, we have the lighting of lamp ceremony. I now request Professor Soren Asmussen to proceed to light the lamp and inaugurate the conference. I request the other dignitaries to kindly follow. Thank you. Please be seated. Dr. Soren Asmussen, Professor, Department of Mathematical Sciences, Aarhus University, Denmark, is an eminent personality and a researcher in the field of applied probability. May I now request you, sir, to deliver the inaugural address.
Mr. President, local organizers, delegates, this conference is in a particular field of applied probability. Applied probability is a subject that has developed immensely during my active career. If we were thinking of stochastics as a whole at the beginning of my career, it was mainly statistics and probability being pursued at a rather mathematical and theoretical level. Applied probability, there were some scattered applications in areas like queuing, biology, physics, but the area has sort of come together and grown a lot, and in a sense I think one could say that applied probability now makes a bridge between the theoretical probability and statistics. And all of this has come better together now. It is even the way that a common construction in Europe is not to have a department of statistics and to have probabilists within the mathematics department, but to have a department that is simply called stochastics, incorporating people from all these fields. Matrix analytic methods are a subfield of this, and they fall in the general area of computational probability, where one could mention also things like Monte Carlo simulation, transform inversion methods, methods based on numerical solution of differential equations, and so on. And this is an area that has had a substantial impact on applications in the decades which have gone, and will hopefully also have so in the decades to come. At the personal level, this is my 5th visit to India. I have enjoyed all visits tremendously, and I'm very glad to have the opportunity this time to come to Kerala. I haven't been to this part of India before. I've been traveling for 10 days with my wife, and we have enjoyed it tremendously. I hope that this conference will provide further fruitful scientific links between scientists in the West and in India, and I wish all of you a good conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Vaidyanathan Ramaswamy was a principal member of technology, AT&T Labs Research in New Jersey, USA. He was also a former member of technical staff, Bell Laboratories, and a chief scientist at Bellcore. I now request you, sir, to felicitate the function.
Dr. Bandyopadhyay, Professor Asmussen, distinguished colleagues on the stage and off stage, all other guests. I am in the situation of being both a host and a guest here, okay? As an Indian citizen and as somebody who has worked closely with the organizers, I identify myself more as a host than as a guest. The coming of this particular conference to India has been the culmination of an effort that spans actually over 10 years, I should say. The previous meeting was in New York, the one before that was in China, and in the one before China, while we were discussing where to hold the next one, I had proposed India, then it got postponed. And the reason primarily was that we did not have a nucleus of people working in this particular field in India, so there was some hesitation to bring it here. So people have said that I helped to bring it here, okay? I think the person, or the persons, I would say, who really deserve the credit are, one is no longer with us, that is Professor Shankar Narayanan of Annamalai University. He was the first one to have taken a lot of interest in matrix analytic methods, to have invited Professor Nudes, the founder of this area, to his department, and to have got his students involved in this area. And the second is, of course, Professor Krishnamurthy, who has really created a whole bunch of people interested in this area and beginning to do good work. Okay, so the real credit, I think, belongs to you, all right? I do want to stress that very much. I want to thank everybody at NIT. I know you have put in a lot of work on behalf of all of us. I want to really express my thanks. I do want to make just a couple of remarks before I do something even more important. One is, why bring this to India? Okay, what is this big idea? What difference does it make whether this conference comes here or not, all right? I think Professor Bandyopadhyay already said something. I hope I'm paraphrasing it correctly. Education is what remains after you have forgotten all that you have learned, all right? So there are certain important other aspects, okay, besides the individual technical papers and all presented here. One is, we wanted to the people, not only the experts, to exchange their latest work among themselves, but in general, whoever comes to the conference, to have some major takeaways. So the tutorials in the last 2 days were primarily that, all right, because for those who want to get into this area, use it, we wanted you to take something concrete back with you, all right? So bringing this conference here has enabled the opportunity for people here to get those kinds of tutorials from some of the finest professors from around the world, all right? Secondly, see, I look back at my own days as a graduate student at Purdue University. Professor Shanti Gupta was the chairman of the department. He was very insightful as an educator. And every Friday we would have a seminar in the department. And the speakers who would come to the seminar were really like the who is who in statistics and probability and mathematics, okay? People like Kiefer, Carlin, Lehman, you name it, okay? People who are giants in these fields. And as students, it helped us in two ways. One is, listening to them, we could really get a much greater feel for how the behind the scenes things, okay? Today you see, buy a DVD of a movie, always comes a few more things showing all the mess they made before they made the movie, or all the behind the scenes things. You get a kind of a feel for this, okay? And these people have a knack of presenting their work in such a way that they're not just giving you a finished final product, but they also give you the intuition behind how they arrived at the results and so on. And it is this that is very important to a researcher in making their own work a lot more important. So that was another reason why I thought it would be very beneficial, and I hope everybody here will agree after seeing the last 2 days of tutorials, what I say is very true, all right? The second thing is even more, a little bit more sociological, okay? I'm an Indian, so I can speak without looking like I'm criticizing, okay? Ours is a very hierarchical society, all right? The professor, the teacher, rank, all these things matter a lot. They're put on a pedestal. They should be, okay? We do gain a lot from them. We need to be very grateful to them, all right? There's no doubt about that. But when it comes to an intellectual exchange, people should be on par, irrespective of age, position, rank, whatever, all right? Because there we are dealing with ideas, with thoughts, all right? In fact, this is not anything new to India. If you go back to our ancient times, there is a saying which says, Tvam tathosi gurur guruhu gurur yogyada vidyata, the Sanskrit saying. What it says is, you are, ultimately, you are your own guru because you pick the guru. You determine the qualifications of the guru, all right? So given that, much as we put a teacher or somebody in a very exalted position, give them respect and so on, when it comes to an intellectual discussion exchange, we need to feel perfectly free to spar with each other, exchange ideas, ask questions and so on. I'm coming here, I'm sure you would have got a feel for that, okay, the way we interact with it. Like, I have enormous respect for my friend Guy Latouche. We have done a lot of work together. One reason I insisted he should speak on quasi-birth and death processes is because I think he's one of the finest teachers I've seen. Yet, yesterday I said, there are areas where we agree to disagree, technically, all right? And that should be the level at which with which we interact with each other. So, you know, there's a lot more to bringing this conference here than just some specific small technical papers, all right? I definitely want to wish this conference a great success. I'm very, very pleased at the size of the participation and the people who come from different corners of India and your enthusiasm for this whole thing. Now, I would like to spare the remaining time allotted to me to really provide a virtual presence to my own guru, Professor Marcel Newts, who is the founder of this area. He very much wanted to be here, but for health reasons, he's not able to. I visited him in Tucson, Arizona, just before coming to this conference. So I made a short video, and they will show it to you. The people on the stage, you may want to get down if you want to see the video better, or you may turn around. Is the video ready?
Dear friends, it always pains me when another event from the series of excellent lectures that we have, but that I have to miss. The present one, also I had to miss because of health problems. I'm very fortunate to have lots of good friends, and it's a very positive family. I feel that I have a very positive and meaningful life behind me, and was fortunate to have lots of good students, friends, and also making a little contribution. The principal part that we have all been part of it is that we came to a field, the algorithmic part of probability, which just became, into its own. Now a mature part of scientific endeavor that still has the possibility of major and more development. In the immediate future, I see lots of major possibilities in development, large problems of modeling and algorithmic development, and also in the emergence of statistical methods. That's where I still see lots of possibilities for talented young people to develop and emerge into new methods for the future. I have already said that I miss this conference, and those like it, that I will not be privileged to participate. I wish very major success on the active colleagues and the young colleagues who develop the next steps in our field. I wish them success. This is the very best wish that I can make for this excellent series that I was privileged to participate in the past.
Thank you, sir. Dr. V. Narayanan, Head, Department of Mathematics, NIT, have always been supportive in all our endeavors. I now request you, sir, to address the gathering.
Respected Director Dr. Bandavadaya, Professor Soren Asmussen, Dr. Ramaswamy, Dr. Jacob, Dr. Jessy John, Dr. Mahesh Kumar, who are the coordinators of this conference, respected heads of departments, resource persons, experts, my colleagues, students, and dear participants. A very good morning to you all. So in the name of the Department of Mathematics and my own behalf, I welcome you all to National Institute of Technology, Calicut. National Institute of Technology, Calicut is one of the premier institutions for technical education in India and is one among the top national institute. Originally established in 1961 as Regional Engineering College, briefly we call REC, it was transformed into National Institute of Technology in the year 2002. The institute is fully funded by the Government of India under the Ministry of Human Resources and Development and enjoyed the status of an institution of national importance as declared under NIT Act 2007 of Government of India. It is empowered with a vision of imparting high quality technical education and research and offers bachelor's, master's and doctoral programs in engineering, science, technology and management. The transformation of Regional Engineering College, Calicut to National Institute of Technology, Calicut was the beginning of a new era in the history of the institution. Research and consultancy was prioritized as never before, with NITC attracting substantial funds for sponsored research projects and networking with a host of academic and research organizations and industries in the country and abroad. The institute is presently offering 10 UG programs and 25 PG programs, including MBA. Now coming to the departments. Department of Mathematics is one of the oldest department of National Institute of Technology, Calicut. The department has 15 permanent faculty members, all with PhD except one faculty. Expertise involves from the areas of stochastic process, queuing theory, time series modeling, operator theory, topology, generalized set theory, fuzzy optimization, fuzzy graph theory, computational fluid dynamics and scientific computing, biocomputational modeling, numerical analysis and scientific computing, harmonic analysis, applied statistics, algebraic theory and reliability systems. 30 research scholars are now working in the department. Department of Mathematics started a series of conferences since 2010, starting with an international conference MMIP 2010. It was followed 2 national conferences in 2010 and 2011. MAM 8 2014 is the 4th in the series and 2nd international conference organized by the Department of Mathematics NIT Calicut. We will be continuing this with these academic events, namely conferences, workshops, faculty development programs and research projects. In the year 2013, there are 32 research publications, 31 international and 1 national. There are 6 international conference papers and 10 national conference papers published in the year 2013. Also, our faculty members take up sponsored projects. We are looking forward to have research tie-ups with other research organizations, and I hope that this international conference will play a vital role in this regard. Also, I take this opportunity to place on records and gratitude on the world well-known professors, Professor Krishnamurthy and Dr. V. Ramaswamy, who are responsible for bringing MAM 8 2014 at NIT Calicut, which is a great privilege for us. So I conclude with these my words, and I wish all the participants a nice and comfortable stay in the campus. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Mahesh Kumar, Assistant Professor, NIT Calicut, and Co-Chair, MAM 8 2014, will now express the vote of thanks.
Very good morning to you all. Distinguished Chief Guest, Professor Soren Asmussen, Distinguished Scientist, Professor V. Ramaswamy, Honorable Director, Professor M.N. Bandyopadhyay, respected HOD, Dr. V. Narayanan, my dear colleagues, Professor M.J.Jacob, Professor Jessy John C, our most valued invited guests, friends, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you with deep sense of honor, privilege, and humility to express on behalf of MAM 8 Conference Organization Committee our profound gratitude to Professor Soren sir for having taken time off your many responsibilities to join us here today and to share this occasion with us, and indeed for having inaugurated our conference. Thank you, sir. I would like to convey my special thanks to Professor V. Ramaswamy for his inspiring words, and I am sure his speech has provided much food for thought for all of us present here. I thank you very much, sir, for your guidance and help. I would like to express my gratitude to our beloved Director, Professor M.N. Bandyopadhyay, for his gracious presence and for his motivational presidential address. He has been a constant support to us during the conference preparation. I thank you very much, sir. I would like to convey my thanks to Dr. V. Narayanan for his encouragement and developmental support and departmental support for this conference. I would like to express our sense of obligations to Professor A. Krishnamurthy for his kind guidance for this event. Thank you, sir. We convey our sincere thanks to Professor Benny on Wood for helping us in bringing the conference proceedings. I also take this opportunity to extend our sincere gratitude to our Professor M.F. Newt through a video message he has conferred here. For him, I am very grateful to him, and for his message, we are all grateful to him. Thank you, sir. I also take this opportunity to extend our gratitude to the distinguished panel of speakers, delegates, learned guests, participants who have come from different destinations for participating at this conference. I wish to thank all our invited guests, HODs, for having taken time off their busy schedule to join us here today. I would be failing in my duty if I do not convey my thanks to our distinguished sponsors, namely Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Government of India, TechCube 2, NITC, NBHM, CSIR, and Kerala State Council for Science, Technology, and Environment, and International Mathematical Union, DST, Indian National Science Academy, and AMBA Research for their enormous support for this conference. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. It requires meticulous planning and execution and eye for details. I would like to thank all the members of organizing committee and all my colleagues, students who have been involved in this particular task. Without their cooperation and full support, this conference would not have been possible. Now, may I please request our dear students to present mementos to Professor Sorin sir, Professor Ramaswamy sir, and Director sir, and our HOD. I also thank media for their help in coverage of the event. Lastly, by not the least, I thank all who are behind the curtain. Thank you once again, and we look forward to an extremely productive 3-day conference over here. Thank you one and all. Thank you.